questions about that. Don't be cold to me because I'm asking what I should ask.
If you really want to marry somebody, how can you want to marry someone and you're not even sure what they're saying to you is the truth? You should have no doubts.
Little black book, you already know what time it is. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? What? You ain't got the minerals. You ain't got the minerals. What you talking about? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, baby. We're about to give you the part 3 of the France. The what? I said Tiamo. She put her hand around my waist. Let's get to the ting. Let's get to the ting. Let's get to the ting. You already know what time it is. You ain't got the minerals. What you talking about? You ain't got the minerals.
Make these questions count, guys.
Yeah.
You gonna do them 20 questions.
I'm not worried about doing the 20 questions. Y'all gonna be so disappointed after those 20 questions is over. Y'all gonna be like, I didn't get nothing I wanted.
We gonna eat.
I love you.
Let's go eat. Thank you.
We got salmon on the table. Love this.
It's called The Last Supper because we're talking about the dinner table scene. Now, at the dinner table, they were meant to ask him a series of questions, and he only got through 3 because he was dodging, avoiding, gaslighting, deflecting, repositioning, going to get a drink, and he was moving mad. You understand? But let's get into the... Okay, cool. The first question they asked was...
You believe Chris is faithful?
Do you believe Omar is faithful? Now, listen, let me put this straight, cuz. When that question is asked, yeah, I want to let you know, Ashika, yeah, shirked the question. So basically, the question was asked, do you believe Omar is faithful? I mean, not Omar. Do you believe Chris is faithful? Now, when that question gets asked, yeah, you should just give a straight answer. Like, yeah, I do believe he's faithful. Or, no, I don't. But she shut and said, you know what? After Omar, what he said, my mind. No, the question was, do you believe Chris is faithful?
Now, everybody has to understand here that earlier today, when we had the meeting, Omar said some things, and it put questions in my mind like, why would you say it if you didn't have anything to go off of?
See, that reaction where you're skirting lets me know what you truly believe. And I can guarantee, I can prove what I mean, what I say by that. Later on, she says,
there's no question of my fidelity to you, but I've had to question that with you a lot.
Yeah, the question is if you want to listen to everybody.
You knew you were lying to me.
You knew I was lying? If that's your statement, you knew I was lying to you. Why are we still together?
It's obviously a lie, Chris.
but you know I've always had thoughts about the fact that you've been unfaithful. Do you know what I'm saying? I've always had those thoughts, which makes me know that you've already had your concerns and, you know, you thought about the fact that he's not faithful. So why are you skirting the issue of the question? Because the truth is you believe in the lie.
All right.
She obviously feels it and knows it deep down in her spirit, but she is choosing to
leave her alone. Just gonna be bubblegum and bull.
You want to believe in a lie, Ashika. That's the absolute truth. Because you are still young in some shape or form, and so therefore, with his age, you know what? When you're someone's older than you, it can play on you, you know. No matter how old you think you are, you're not grown yet. You understand? But cool. So she should have just said yes, and then said, okay, look, yes. But you know what it is? Omar said what he said, and it got me confused. But she didn't say that. She skirted the question straight away. Problem. When obviously they asked Chris a few questions, it was like 1 or 2, I think. Instead of him answering the question, he got annoyed, walked off without telling anybody what he was doing, went to the kitchen, fixed himself a brandy and a drink or whatever, and a Coke or whatever, came back and sat down.
Talk about it. Answer the question.
Everybody is
Stupid as
Chris, you can't leave.
She just wanted reassurance. That's
Well,
all.
let him leave then. Face me, because there's too many things being said.
Now, here's the issue. The problem wasn't getting a drink. The problem was that you didn't communicate that when you got up and went to get a drink. You were frustrated. And actually what he did was a very tactical, very smart manipulation that he did there. He reset the conversation. Because what it allowed him to do was actually get a grip of the conversation. Because he was getting pelted. Up to that point, he was getting hit. Up to that point, he was getting questioned. Up to that point, he had no answers. You understand? And so when he was getting questioned, he decided to get up, go and get a drink, come back. And what was his first thing that came out of his mouth?
I don't do that to you, so treat me how I treat you.
There's no question of my fidelity.
Reset. So instantly what happens is a person is shaken from where they were, the line of question they were going from, to now trying to defend what they were saying. Because now he's changed the narrative by saying, don't talk to me like that, because, you know, obviously I wouldn't talk to you like that. And he said it in that calm format. So instantly, she's now thinking to herself, what? What do you mean? I'm not even being rude. Did it line off? You're instantly off track. You understand? Deflection. Classic case of manipulation. You know, it's crazy what people can learn when they grow up and when they grow up in the art of manipulation. This is one of those tactics. She obviously questioned his infidelity a lot. Like I said, she said it in the past. And when she questioned him, he deflected by saying,
A lot.
Yeah, the question is, if you want to listen to everybody, same people that told you I was doing something is the same people that told me you was doing stuff.
Nobody ever told you I was doing anything.
and it's a classic cheater, man. It's a classic infidelity turnaround where you flip the script on the naysayers onto them. See, when you don't mention who said what, and the person's a smart, conniving person, they'll twist and say, see, the same person you're telling, the same people that are telling you the same thing, are the same people that are telling me. But if you told, listen, this person told me, you said this, he has nowhere to go. Now, obviously, we don't do that because you're going to have to bait people out, and nobody really wants to do that. But, you know what I mean? It gives him opportunity and license to lie to you because he's going to twist it. Not only that, through the whole case, he was too calm. Yeah? Too calm. Acting all calm like he was just... At one point, he had a drink in his mouth like this, and he was...
You know how everybody you've been with...
Why are you being disrespectful to my mother? Don't be disrespectful.
He's just like, yeah, I hear what he's saying. Keep it. And then he didn't say anything for about a minute or two after he was just getting blasted. But he wasn't saying anything. And the reason why is because sometimes when you're getting pepped, yeah, and you know that you're wrong, you know, it's easy just to keep quiet. Do you get me? And then you explain yourself later on. So that you don't trip yourself up. So you don't say anything that's wrong. So later on, you go and explain to a one-on-one, like you did twice, and then you give your point of view, so that you can twist her back to your side again. Art of manipulation, my G. One thing I would say is that Ashika's mum should have never got involved at that point. Reason why I say that is because this is not your battle. This is your daughter's battle. You understand? And the moment you jump in there to talk to him, you're liable to get something back which you may not like.
It don't have nothing to do with anything that happened to me.
You know how people do. You know how everybody you've been with.
And why are you being disrespectful to my mother?
You understand? It got to a point where obviously she could say, don't be rude to my mum. But I didn't think he was being rude. I personally didn't think he was being rude. He only basically said, obviously, okay, fair enough, what you're saying, okay, cool. That wasn't him being rude. He was just avoiding. Do you know what I'm saying? He was never disrespecting your mum. Like, but you made it into a disrespect. There was no need for that. Do you know what I'm saying? Your mum should never got involved in the conversation anyway. It was you handling your situation. And when too many cooks are trying to stir the broth, there's a problem. If everybody's trying to get onto my man, he's going to become very defensive. We could have unlocked him with a few more questions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to let a man trip and fall. Sometimes don't give him the easy option by all of us attacking him. Because when all of us attacking him, he can try and say, well, all of you are just banging onto me, rah, 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 rah. No. Give him the room to hang himself. Give him the rope to hang himself. His own words will make him hang himself. You understand? Not that you hang, but you know what I mean. So, give him that room. I didn't think he was being rude to her mum. I personally didn't think that. I just didn't think her mum should have been involved anyway. And it's interesting because obviously, you know, I respect Chris's mum because she actually put her arm on Chris and said, and was trying to tell him, listen, stop talking back.
You know how everybody you've been with.
Why are you being disrespectful to my mother?
Like, because, oh, stop doing what you're doing because it's going to appear rude. She just put her arm like that, and instantly it was like that black mum, like, listen, just chill. He was being passive, you want to say, you can say he was being passive-aggressive, but he wasn't even being that. It's just that he was being nonchalant. You know what I mean? And the mum, at one point, I paused it because the mum was looking at her son like, cha, look what I raised, man. Look at him. She was even vexed, you know what I'm saying? So, it's disappointing, you know, like, yeah. One thing I was also saying as well, Ashika came with a different energy, and I felt like, Ashika, you've known this truth for time. You're coming on the show like you didn't know the truth. You've known the truth. You've decided to ignore it. And now at this point at the table, you're coming with a different type of energy. I understand why, because it's painful, but I'm saying you're coming with a different type of energy. We need this energy consistently so that you can leave this relationship. There's no way you should be in this relationship, if I'm going to be honest. You shouldn't be getting married anywhere near. Not until he admits what he's done. not until you admits the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Not only that, Andrea then got involved.
If you really want to marry somebody, how can you want to marry someone and you're not even sure what they're saying to you is the truth? You should have no doubts. All this is proving to me is that you're not ready for marriage.
Don't come and bring drama to the situation and then say, oh, well, if you're feeling this type of way because of the drama that y'all brought this drama.
And I love this because she had to check Ashika, because Ashika, you're giving a lot of energy, and you just said you knew, or you've always thought that you've always had concerns about his faithfulness, and yet you're still here. And so Andrea had to address you by saying, if you guys don't trust each other, or something along the lines about the fact that if you're not sure why you're getting married, absolute truth. She had to bar it that way. But one thing I would say about Andrea is, why are you smiling when you say it?
Even sure what they're saying to you is the truth. You should have no doubts.
I think the reason why she's smiling is because her and Omar and Chris know the truth. They know the absolute truth. Do you understand? So she's smiling from a place of I know what the issue is. I know the truth. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's painful for Sheikah in that respect. I get it. Okay, so later on, when we continue this conversation later on, this was very alarming for me. Very, very alarming. To say how serious Ash is taking this. When obviously everything spilled over, obviously at the end, Ashika goes out the room, and then obviously everyone kind of, well, the mom and even Andrea follows out to outside, and they're talking to her, and then obviously the mom and Omar say, go and speak to her, they're one-to-one. But they're smiling, the mom and Omar.
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna need about 4 drinks.
Say this, Kicks. I don't care what you say.
Jacuzzi.
Because they know the truth. Like, everything in this thing was so scary. Why are they laughing and smiling? It's not a smiling moment. Do you know what I'm saying? But you're only smiling because you must know the truth about what he's doing, about what he actually is standing for, which is that he doesn't, not that he doesn't even, I wouldn't say he doesn't care, but the truth of the matter is, he knows what he's been doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows what he's been doing. That's why you're smiling. So when you send him out there, you're smiling. He gets out there, he starts talking to her, and Eden even says, don't let her come back in crying. And he's trying to tell her something. And it's like, bruh, you're talking about this eyelash thing which you haven't explained. So now she comes back inside. And then she's explaining her side of the story, okay? And now, it's later on. So now, Chris is playing cards, I'm guessing, with his sister and other people. And one thing I noticed was Adriana, was staring at Ashika, but through her.
Up at his house, 6 in the morning. He would not let me in. He shuts the door, locks it. I'm hysterical, banging on the door. He comes out, and I'm like, who is...
So she was staring at her, but through her, like, her eyes were like... So she's looking at her, but she's looking through her. Because she's thinking. And I believe she's thinking about the damage that's being done here, as a fellow female. Then Chris is playing the cards. Why are you still playing cards when your girlfriend's explaining the situation, or your fiancé, sorry? Your fiancé is explaining the situation which is painful about the eyelash thing, and you're still playing cards like it's calm. It's not calm.
He's like, nobody. He makes me leave. Go to Waffle House with him. We go back to...
You understand? And then not only that, you pick up a card, yeah, and then you look at your sister to smile and to laugh, but your sister's not giving you no energy back, and so his smile wipes off instantly. That lets me know you were looking for confirmation of a laugh and a joke at the same time when your girlfriend, or fiancé, sorry, is trying to explain your situation. Do you understand? Do you know how mad that sounds? Do you know how mad that is? You're not being calm. You're being a dickhead. And you know what you're doing. You're being a manipulator. Like, I hope he watches this video because I'm just calling him out on his bullcrap. Just saying what his cousin called him out. This relationship should not go forward. On a realistic, guys, you watch my reviews. I don't often try to give a verdict. But on this case, it should not go forward. Because he's a classic case of a manipulator. And if he's not sorting out his personal problems, he will continue this forward. And then the mum, obviously, Ashika's mum, then says, you know what, this is getting messy, blah, blah, blah. And I think to myself, mum, you got yourself involved earlier on to explain the situation on the table and made it messy. We're now in a situation where your daughter's trying to explain something, you're telling me it's messy.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not going to be a part of this being messy like this. Peace. I'm not going to sit up and listen to anybody sit up and take this away from themselves and project it.
Projection.
So don't do that, because I know how people do it. It don't have nothing to do with anything that happened to me.
How is it messy? Because he's deciding that he's not going to respond to what she's saying. It's not messy. It's an argument. yeah, it's a debate at the moment, but it's not messy. Do you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of downgraded what your daughter was trying to actually say to him and trying to explain herself. It wasn't messy. You could have even argued, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like it took the energy away from her daughter by doing that and saying it's messy. You got involved 1 minute and now you don't want to get involved now. Come on, man. How long you got? Alright, cool. I'll finish off by talking about the cousin and the mum. Interesting. The cousin sat down with the mum. You know, the mum's asking him, like, you know what? It's as if they all know each other. They're so calm with each other. It's really mad. But she's asking him, you know, look, what do you know? Let me know what you know. And the cousin, very frankly, which is so interesting, because I feel like if this girl actually meant something to Chris, Omar wouldn't be this open. Because he knows, like, every man knows that when it comes to your kingdom and the queen within your kingdom, you fight another nigga. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. You would fight another man. You understand? When it comes to a king and his queen, the king will fight another man, regardless of who they are, for trying to trip up his queen or try to create distance between him, the king and the queen, if he truly loves her. So the fact that Omar's brave enough, has a confidence enough to even go to the mum and explain that, you know what, your daughter is just numbers.
You see.
I believe she's any other number. Keep it all the way honest.
I knew you were lying to me.
You knew I was lying? If that's your statement, you knew I was lying to you. Why are we still together?
It's obviously a...
Numbers to my boy. It shows a different level of disrespect that Chris must have for the daughter. Because Omar is able to be that brave to tell her, your daughter's just numbers. That's what I think. Then I have to say, I don't think Chris really cares about this girl. Because he ain't G-checked his cousin yet. You understand? And then obviously as well, Ashika's talking to Chris on the chair, and he even says it, why are you with me if you don't believe me then? And I'm like, yeah, Ashika, why are you with him if you don't believe him? Because it is easier to believe in a lie. We want to believe in a lie because we don't want to come to the truth. It's like the Matrix. We don't want to swallow the pill that will take us to Zion, the real Zion. Because really and truly, the truth is bland, it's distasteful, it's not nice to look at. We don't want to be there. Do you understand? So I deeped in, I was like, yeah, Ashika, why are you there? He asked you a real question, why are you there? And then Edwin, like I said, when they went into the room and the door was open, this is the first time I heard Chris ever raise his voice. And why? Because everybody else was around and was not around, and so he could raise his voice. And now he can shout a little bit. And now he can be a little bit more aggressive. Why? Because when Edwin came and said, listen, I'm hearing shouting, he slammed the door.
Question? Hold on, I hear yelling. What's wrong?
Get the out of here.
Now, could he have done that if Edwin was a brother? Nah. But he's the best male who kind of a bit campish. He's going to do that. Because he's not going to do that to me if I'm her brother and he slammed the door in my face. Do you think he can do it to me? Never. Because a male meeting another male doesn't want to shed blood. I've told you about this theory about why men often don't like, why men fight, but then get on with things, because you're both kings. And it's a waste of time to continue a war, which is going to be bloodshed, which is not going to be beneficial for both of us. So if both of us are not going to benefit from this war, or I'm going to lose something too drastic, I wouldn't enter the war. Do you understand? So for us men, you're not going to come and start warring me. You want to keep me on side because I'm close to your prized asset, what you're wanting. Do you get me? But with Edwin, he doesn't consider him to be a kingdom, so therefore he slams the door in his face. Truth of the matter, sorry. So I'll end at this point. You know, he didn't show his true nature until he got into that room and slammed the door and stuff like that. And you know what? It's just like a viper. He's an opportunity. Make sure he chooses the right time to strike. And you know, he knows that when he gets her alone, he will always twist her around his thumb. He knows that already. He knows the kind of girl he's got. She's young, you know, and she's naive, and she's naive in the sense of she's new to relationships concerning a man like him who's experienced, who's had vast amount of experience, who doesn't care. You see, that's the truth of the matter. When people don't care, it's the most painful type of relationship you can ever enter into. So, yeah, I mean, it's deep. It's painful. It's a lot. So, yeah, guys, that's the end of part 3. It's mad. I'm going to do a part 4 because there is a lot more I want to give you guys, which is the last day 2 and day 3. So guys, stick around, like, share, subscribe. You ain't got the minerals. Are you mad? You lean? Listen. You know what? You already know what time it is. So